Kathryn is an all-around music industry veteran. She is a singer-songwriter with 5 solo albums and multiple single releases. She has sung on over 100 albums for other artists. She's worked with Bare Naked Ladies, Skydiggers, Ian Thomas, Sarah McLachlan, Kinney Starr, Patti LaBelle, Sir Tom Jones, Ron Sexsmith, and Martin Fry of ABC, among others. I have known her for a long time. I ran out of contact with her for a few decades and have run into her here and there. She was one of the first people I called for this event. Without trying to sound gushing, I am so happy to have her here. Ladies and gentlemen, Kathryn Rose.
I really relished the chance to come and do this, I gotta say. Really, a lot. Like, a lot. When Michael asked me to do it, I just thought, oh, God, I've just been waiting for somebody to ask me to do something like this because, anyway, I love to write, and I'm getting to a point in time in the business and stuff where I'm thinking a lot about how far I've come and where do I still want to go and that kind of thing. And this really helped me, paint myself a picture of how it's all gone. And just to invite you to play a little game here. I am flashy in certain ways, but I'm not. I wrote a whole version of this at first where I don't say any celebrities' names at all because I didn't think I really wanted to do that. But then I realized I kind of have to maybe say some. But then I thought, have you ever heard the game Name Drop? Do you know this game? Well, when my friends and I finish a concert, we go out and have a beer or whatever after, and we talk. And if somebody starts being all hoity-toity and saying like too many, celebrities' names, then other people at the table go, like the name just dropped on the table, and we're like, oh, right, don't do that. Or laugh at yourself when you do it. So, let's practice. Like if I was to say something like, one day in Brisbane when I was on tour with Sarah McLachlan, thank you, I looked out the hotel window and there was Gene Simmons by the pool, and I went down there to say hello, and he put his arm around me and snapped my bra strap, and Sarah was going, ah. Okay, you got it. So if I do that, please hit that table. All right, here we go. I am beginning now. Sparkling in sequins, still on this stage or that, no longer in my 20s, 30s, or 40s. I sometimes feel not unlike a show pony. Really, I'm more of a workhorse in a show pony costume, though. I grew up with an actor father and a singer mother. I watched my mother sing for pleasure all her life and my father chase his acting dream for decades. My showbiz hustle started in grade 4. In 1970s North Vancouver, I was the only Jewish kid in my school. A kid named Jeff nicknamed me Jujube. Another kid was confused and asked if I was Jehovah's Witness. They both start with J, I guess, I don't know. To address the issue head on, I told my teacher I wanted to perform a Jewish passion play for the class before the winter break. Nobody asked for that, but that's what I did. This play told the story of 2 young best friends, a Gentile and a Jew, who were best friends, next door neighbors. One day the Gentile kid asked her best friend, why don't you celebrate Christmas? And needing no further prompting, the Jewish kid and her mother immediately dramatically enacted the story of Hanukkah with music. No doubt the Gentile kid was sorry she asked. At the end of the play, Santa Claus busted out of the chimney in the Jewish people's house as if to say, look at all of you getting along. Can I get in on this group hug? And then everybody ate latkes. We brought enough latkes for the whole class. My best friend Melanie Cook played the Gentile. My mother played my mother. The play was a hit. We were held over. A class down the hall caught wind of it, and we went down the hall and did it for them too. So, cut to age 11, 1980. My family had just moved house from Vancouver to Toronto, my new school, divided kids into homerooms based on whether what music class you were going to be in, either band or choir. And I was the new girl. They didn't know where to put me, so they sent me to the library to take a music aptitude test. It was a worn-out cassette tape in a clunky tape player and really crap headphones. And then you had this form and you had to circle, am I hearing higher or lower notes or faster or slower rhythms? I They placed me in grade 6 choir homeroom, music class, the class for unmusical people. This could not stand. I mean, sure, I liked singing, but I had just spent the past year and a half playing flute in Vancouver. So I marched to my new school office and I told them their music aptitude test was bullshit. But I said it really nice because I'm really nice. And I requested to be in band homeroom, and my request was denied. So I hatched a plan. I would bring my flute to school the next day, and I would play it under the band teacher's window until she heard me. You know, the old flute under the window trick? No? Next morning, before the bell rang, all the other kids were hanging out in their Jordache jeans or whatever, and I was there. I was in my boy cousin's hand-me-down clothes, just fluting away, playing scales and octave jumps and Anne-Marie's You Needed Me. Years later, I sang backups for Anne-Marie. Thank you. When I was in the house band on Canadian Idol. Yeah, she's really nice. So, fluting away. You needed me, you needed me. And do you think the window opened? Out popped the band teacher's head. Who are you? She asked. I'm a new girl. I play the flute. I want to be in band class, but they put me in choir. Come on up here, she said. And by the first period, after lunch that day, I was moved to band homeroom. The hustle is strong in this one. Okay, 3 years later, I lied about my home address, and auditioned for a high school of the performing arts as a drama major with a minor in flute, a natural-born singer who didn't sing in her audition. I got in. How? Sheer will, I guess. Some of my classmates were popping in and out of that school, already working professionally, and I was fascinated by them. Other kids had crazy, raw ability, but no discipline. I was so mad at those kids. Others were barking up the wrong tree and just slipped back into the mainstream. I didn't want to be one of them. I felt like I was already living the dream. I just didn't want to break the spell. I made myself indispensable just in case I wasn't knocking anyone out with my talent. At age 13, 14, 15, 16, I was a workaholic taskmaster with my eye on the prize. Come on, guys! Not a partier, a pro in the making, the anti-teen. I had no time to drink and smoke and have sex. I was not fucking around. The teachers applauded my passion. My fellow classmates had other opinions. One day, one of those crazy, raw ability boys spotted me coming, ran over to a piano in the hallway, and composed my theme song on the spot. Went like this. The pompous march of Kathryn Rose. The pompous march of Kathryn Rose. A song for me, but not exactly a note in my praise. Lots of people around, everybody heard that. That's how people see me. Do I march? Like pompously? I thought I was just trying really hard. Since when did my unflinching earnestness become some sort of crime? That little ditty wedged itself into my psyche forever. A year or so later, my father trotted me out in front of casting directors in late 1980s Toronto. I danced in a Kelly Preston movie. Yeah, they acted in a sitcom starring Dawn Adams, did a Max Headroom Coke commercial. I kissed Jerry O'Connell on My Secret Identity, and I had my brain sucked out by aliens on War of the Worlds. Okay, with money in the bank and a fierce independence streak, I flew the family coupe, and during the run of a play that I had a lead role in, I was in my first downtown apartment, still trying to finish high school. I was auditioning, studying modern dance. I even gave myself like a hospitalized asthma attack at one point. I started my first band with some schoolmates, and then another band and another band. I was dragging my acting heels. I didn't love it. I found it like powerless and kind of humiliating, the acting. But having a little more control, running bands and writing and arranging songs and rehearsing and organizing shows and music. I found my people. They humored my seriousness. Around my mid-20s, well, I had a major breakthrough. I found out that you can make jokes and have a good time while you're working hard. That's what the composer of The Pompous March of Kathryn Rose was trying to tell me. Right after wrapping 4 months on a feature film starring Tommy Chong, Matt Frewer, and a young Jeremy Renner, I quit acting. You should have seen my agent's face. Oh, she was not amused. My dad was so mad. Why? But I had a new saying that I was pretty proud of. Where the heart lies, the stomach will follow. I believe that. The music business is no better than the acting business. Is just, whatever you love more, you can stomach put up with the unsavory parts. For the next few years, I was pretty sure that sheer will would make me a pop star. Showbiz is tough, everybody knows that, and I didn't necessarily make it easier on myself. I've just always done things the hard way. My mom used to call me moishe kaper. It's a Yiddish expression. It means inside out and backwards. Oh, you do everything so moishe kaper. Inside out and backwards. She might have been referring to the way I, learned to tie my shoelaces, but it was the shape of things to come. I twist the bottle, I don't twist the cap. I don't go in the front way. I like to find a way in the back. I turned down management and record deals because they liked me, but not the rest of my band. Then my band quit me. I decided to become an esoteric cinematic pop solo artist. How's that working for you? On the cover of my first solo album, I deliberately avoided any kind of commercial beauty shot and turned myself into like a gargoyle, all in the name of art. And when things backfired, I just turned it into music. I was playing in the bars when I was 17, and to Mr. Music Industry, itching to do puppetry. I was funding my solo music with money I made as a session singer, and maybe I lost the plot, spending so much time guesting on other artists' music and touring as a backup singer or doing voiceover, singing jingles. Ladies, get your smile on. Ford, built for life in Canada. We don't know why men will use almost anything. Cotton out. And my favorite one of all time. Moncton's got a brand new bay. Isn't that good? That one's good. The new Lysol hands-free no-touch soap system for the kid who touches everything. Love, sex, Durex. Okay, that's enough of that. So, when my second solo album, My Little Flame, came out in 2001, I got the cover story of Now magazine, and I was so excited. But then my excitement turned to dismay when I realized that the paper was pushing to make jingle singing the focus of the story, and I told my publicist I asked her to try to get a redirect, so they would talk more about my songwriting and being a recording artist. I did the cover shoot and the interview, and it came out on the newsstands, and what do you think the headline said? Kathryn Rose, Confessions of a High-Priced Jingle Singer. So now I was a jingle singing prostitute. Well done. Okay. In my 30s, singing backups for Sarah McLachlan's 2004 Afterglow World Tour, we stopped in to perform a song on Regis and Kelly. Yeah, that's two, in New York. End of song, the hosts bounded over, fawned over Sarah, and cut to commercial. And then, Reg, my buddy Reg, he came right up to me and leaned in real close, and he pointed at me, and he pointed at Sarah, and he said, "One day, that'll be you. Mark my words." Maybe he says that to all the backup singers, I don't know, but Sarah totally heard him. Yeah. When that tour ended, I had a dream to be a mom and an artist with a supportive partner, but I married a brilliant narcissist who drank himself to death. That took a turn. As the breadwinner, even when I had my babies, bit by bit, I was doing less and less of my own music and more as a hired gun. Responsibility killed the aging pop star. When that starts happening, you tell yourself, oh, I can weave in and out of my original solo music and all this other music, work for others without fallout. And for a while you can. But past a certain point, it's much better to just admit you're in your show pony era and just then be really obscenely relieved every time you finally write a new song. I like All This Water Under the Bridge. I don't wish that I could go back in time, except for my original Jewish eyebrows, which were plucked off by a makeup artist in the 90s for a music video shoot, and they didn't grow back. I missed those. But I'm good otherwise. After 38 years in performance with like osteoarthritis and stuff, I do sometimes catch myself wondering, is my like show pony prancing starting to feel like a little, I don't know, ridiculous? Does this swishy tail make me look fat? Just kidding. As long as I can still prance, I'll be prancing. As long as I'm not pompous marching, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
For the record, I remember the instant of the pompous Kathryn Rose song.
You do?
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, shit. I thought only I remembered.
Oh, no, it gets better.
Really?
I will not use the name of the person who performed it,
Yeah.
although I'm still in touch with them, and I was very close to inviting them this evening. Absolutely. Because the individual is a musician, and I believe he does everything kind of in his own studio, but he was one of the people I wanted to talk to. He is not in Canada at the moment, but I remember that.
Well,